Welcome to the Water and Time podcast. This is episode 26. How's it going, Alan? What's up with you, dude? Nice to see you.
Hey, did you go to the 6-7 thing in New York? Like on June 7th, 2026
No,
at like
there is a
6:27
6-7?
fucking PM? You have like thousands of people
No,
go to New York and just oh, it's 6-7.
really?
Oh my god, it's 6-7.
Where was it? Like Times Square, Union Square? Where'd they go?
New York 6-7 meetup.
That's so crazy.
It happened
And
yesterday.
I so believe that as an event too.
It was gathering around I don't even know where it was, but yeah, it was 67 day at 6:07 p.m.
Did
So
it give you a location of where, or does it?
it was in Washington Square Park.
Oh, Washington Square Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge place. Okay.
If you see some of the
Damn.
videos of that stuff, it's just like they're
There's a
like
bunch of
waiting for a
people.
meteor shower to happen, those kinds of things. Like, oh my god, it's
Sure,
11:11 a.m.
sure.
And then it strikes 6:07. They're like,
Everyone
oh
freaked out. Yeah, that's
my god.
funny. That does work though, yeah, so, like, what, 6 or 7 PM? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so I no, unfortunately, I did not make it to the the 6/7 New York City event. I was a little bit sick last week too, which is why we took a gap,
Oh my god, you're 6'7", dude. You're 6'7".
dude.
Yo, call
6/7.
him Will 6'7".
Okay.
Okay.
How is it? So we got 2 weeks to catch up on, dude. What's new with you?
Damn, dude.
How's
Yeah,
how's
two
life
weeks,
treating you,
man.
Alan?
Our life's been fine. What have I been up to? I've been working, like pretty busy with work because we got some deadlines and then I'm on call this week and it's like, whatever. But next week is going to be good because I'm going to be going to Victoria for a few days, Victoria, BC in Canada. And we have Juneteenth off. So next Friday, June 19th, it's going to be a holiday. So it's basically like I'm only working one day a week next week, but I don't know. We'll see what I even do on that day. And then
Cool.
some of the topics that I added actually was just I've been just looking at that because there were a lot of chaos and some random stuff that interested me the past few weeks. All right. Yeah. One
That's cool.
thing is my fitness actually. I swapped up my routine finally, like my
Mm,
workout routines. So, like before, I used to have a chest day, a back day, leg day, and then arms day. Now I have upper, lower, lower. So I'm
you're doing
like
upper
doing
lower split?
more. Yeah, just doing more overall exercises.
Hmm,
And yeah, I've been pretty sore. So yeah,
good.
yeah. How you
I think it's
doing?
really important to switch it up, dude. Back to like the gym thing. I think it gets so stale and boring if you're doing the same fucking exercises, the same routine. I think it's really important every few months, dude. Change it up.
Dude,
And
I
you can
was
feel it in your
like,
muscles, dude. You feel it. Like when you stimulate it, you use different exercises, move your body differently, you can feel your body like it's like, oh, this is new again.
yeah,
So yeah,
I've
it's
been
great.
feeling
It's
so
great.
sleepy at the gym the past few months because I think because I've been doing the same thing.
It's
And
boring, dude. It's boring, yeah.
yeah, but I think it's more so like I don't mind if it's boring per se, but I mind that I feel like I wasn't seeing the results that I've been wanting. So I was like, okay, something needs to change. And yeah, I'm just doing more exercises, more different exercises.
Beginner
Yeah.
gains too, and like that's an overloaded term, but it just means when you start a new exercise, like you see so much more results in the first, 3 to 6 months than you do afterwards. Like all, because you're shocking your body into it.
Yeah.
So that's great though. I'll tell. So I think it's been a couple weeks now. So I moved to a new apartment, which is why a little bit of a different view. I couldn't find my actual webcam, so I'm using my laptop now. A little different. And yeah, we moved. I was sick for like probably over a week. I was pretty sick, dude. It sucked. I watched so much fucking YouTube. Like, yeah, how many days? But
Yeah,
I
how long
watched a
were you
lot
sick?
of fucking content online, dude. It just kind of sucks being sick. I was just in bed a lot.
Why
So
do you think you were sick? Because it's the beginning of June, so I feel like there's not much. Like allergy season's dying down. Like what's going
I
on?
don't know. I think I might have got something from my sister. I think there were a few things. Like when I was home, my sister was sick, and I might have caught something because when I came back from Seattle, I was sick for a couple days, and then I had gotten better. And then from that, we went immediately into moving all of our shit. And maybe it's just like a high stress environment also. And like I was physically doing a lot of work and moving things probably before I was better. I teach a class too, and I was out there like I think I was still probably a little bit under the weather when I was teaching. I think doing all those things while you're not fully recovered yet just made it. worse because after like the day after we moved, it like flared up again where I felt like the sore throat came back and it sucked. So I think I just never fully recovered, and that's why it lasted so long.
Yeah. Time goes. I don't know if time goes fast for you while you're watching, all the content because you're just being consumer mode 24/7. But yeah,
It kind of does, but like it feels slow after the first day or two. It's like because you just don't want to do shit, so you're just sitting around and it's not fun. And
maybe you feel like you're missing out on stuff.
yeah,
Oh my god, I've like,
absolutely, especially in New York City, dude. I missed the fucking 6-7 meetup. Come on, come on.
bro, bro, you're
But
sick.
yeah, so now I'm feeling better. I'm almost 100%. But that's been it. Yeah, we're moving. That's kind of been the biggest things in my life right now.
Nice. So you're like all moved out of the previous
Yeah,
apartment?
on the
Okay.
31st, we fully moved out.
Nice. Nice. And you like your new place so far? You told me you had like an actual free living space
Yeah, no,
finally.
it's a lot more room. I think our old apartment was like a little bit over 500 square feet. This one, I think, is around probably 700, so it's a lot bigger. We have a washing machine, dude. Dude, washing
Unheard
machines
of
are
in
the
New
fucking
York.
move.
New
It's
Yorkers
like
like are like,
it
what the hell is this?
It's so nice, dude. It's just like I think first of all, the amount of time it saves, so helpful compared to hand washing all your dishes, and you can do so much. Like instead of putting dirty dishes in the sink and waiting for it to like build up at all, like you can just put it in you just rinse it off, put it in the dishwasher. You don't have to clean it, and it's out of the way. And then once it's full, you can run it. I think too. I was looking this up because I was just curious environmentally. Washing machines in general use way less water per dish than if you were to do it by hand because it's just keeping all that water in there,
It's
so it's a lot more
circulating.
efficient. Yeah, and like so that I'm like, because I was like, huh, I wonder if it is actually worse. But no, it's a lot better for the environment, for time. It's just space. That's the only real problem. So yeah, it's just it's some small things like that I appreciate way more after not having it for 4 years almost, not having a dishwasher. And we have a washing machine now too in the unit. So before we didn't even have it in the building. We would have to go to a laundromat. So that's also a huge change. So those little things that like people have, I feel like mainly across the U.S., people maybe take it for granted a little bit. So it's super nice. I love that stuff here. And yeah, it's just more spacious. And we also one other cool thing is in the building we actually have our own entrance. So it's just like right
Okay.
off the street. So you don't go into a like because we're on the bottom floor. So
Yeah.
instead of like going into an apartment building and then going to your apartment,
Uh,
I just have a direct access like a home. And like
oh,
that small thing, like because I've always lived in walk-up. So my first apartment was on the fourth floor, then the third floor, and now I'm on the bottom floor. I just walk right outside or walk right in. It's awesome. It saves a lot of time. And we're only like I think 2.5 minutes away walking to the train station. So it's super convenient, dude.
nice, man.
So yeah, lots of positives, and it's more expensive, but well worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a good summer. You're gonna have like coming back immediately to your place while it's hot outside, and you're just like, oh, I can just immediately relax when you get inside.
Yeah, and it's a lot
Yeah.
cooler because it's on the bottom
Oh
floor,
yeah,
which
it's
is
the
great.
basement. So no, like
But
I
for summer, dude, for summer we were, and it's not a basement unit actually. It is a little bit above ground. It's just a little bit. You walk up some stairs. It's kind of like the first floor of a home. Think of it that way.
so you'll still have
Um,
some heat then, probably.
yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
I'm going to escape, dude. I'm looking at tickets now. Early August, Seattle, 3 weeks, man. I'm going to be there. Escape.
Heck
People out
yeah.
here go to the Hamptons in New York to escape the heat. They go fucking upstate. Hell no, but I'm going to the other coast. I'm hitting Seattle for the
Yeah,
summer.
wait, speaking of planning, you
Beautiful.
were telling me about how it's difficult to plan stuff with like a group of people, right? You're like while you were in the midst of just planning a trip.
Well, we can talk about that a little bit. We were talking about planning a Japan trip.
Yeah.
I think that's like a little bit separate of a topic, though. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
I find it the more people you involve in a trip, and it definitely depends on the people. But I think it makes sense. It's like as you scale up in terms of people, it gets more complicated to try and plan a trip. I feel that way. What do you think?
I, I always like to think about it in terms of just like numbers and what we're trying to like do. So I think it's because the more people there are, the more needs that
Of
need to be
course.
done. And like planning, you try to fill up as most of the needs as possible. So like generally, because there are more people, there are more needs, and then there's no one size fits all kind of thing. So you have to choose some kind of compromise.
One of my favorite stories regarding this, and so I think we can talk about this for a little bit actually, is traveling and planning for like trips with friends. Is we had a Japan trip, and halfway through, one of our buddies is like, "We're having ramen," and one of our friends is like, "Is this pork?" And most ramen is fucking pork. It's tonkatsu broth. Like it's almost all fucking
Uh,
pork. This guy's been eating ramen for a while, and we're like, yeah, it is pork. And he's like, oh, I don't eat pork.
That's the
And
funniest
think
shit
about when
ever.
you talk about people's needs, right? That changes the whole dynamic. It's like,
Mm,
okay, if we go out with eat with this person, we got to make sure wherever we go, there's a non-pork option for him,
yeah.
which changes the whole dynamics of the trip. And so it's like, and that's okay if somebody wants to eat something different. Like I don't, people are vegetarian, they're vegan, that's totally fine. But it's just that there are more needs, like what you said, when that comes out, and it makes trips more complicated. Not worse, but just more effort.
See, that's why. Okay. Well, by the way, that was the funniest shit ever when he told us
That was
that
so
over
funny,
ramen. I was like,
dude. That was so funny
it's
because we
so.
we'd been there before. It was
I'm like,
hilarious.
oh my god,
And he
non-typical
loves
guy,
ramen.
and he loves ramen.
That was awesome.
Yeah. The see, the thing is that I think I like traveling with, like, for me, for planning. I don't really plan that much because I'm a really, like, little needy guy. Like, I have very few needs when I travel. So I'm very flexible to things, and that makes me pretty much open to doing whatever. So that's why I'm like cool with other people planning and they can like set the expectations because I'll just go with whatever.
Yeah, so
And
you're just telling me you're lazy.
no, dude, I'm not lazy. I'm
That's
flexible. I'm flexible.
like the
I try to
funniest
make it.
excuse,
I try
though.
to make it
Yeah.
as painless as possible. You say, "Hey, do you want to join for this?" And if I say yes, I'm gonna be like, "Okay, I won't be a problem. Won't be a nuisance. I'm there. I'll do whatever." Because I accepted the terms and conditions, the implicit terms and conditions.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I try and be that way too. Mostly, it's like I'm going to join for a trip to try and be flexible, be open. But sometimes it is annoying when everyone's like that because no one will plan it. You know what I mean? Like there always has to be one person. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying that in general because you do plan a lot of stuff. You're like one of the big reasons we go on these trips sometimes too. But
Damn.
sometimes it's like people when they don't even plan at all. Like some people really will not plan shit, and it's just annoying. It's one thing to be like, it's one thing to be like, free and you're chill and you can do whatever.
Yeah.
But you should also, if you're going on like a trip, you should take some of the responsibility in terms of booking a place to stay, planning a meal out. Because some people don't
Mm.
do any of that shit. They just tag along and they do nothing, and it can be very annoying and stressful, in my opinion.
Wait, why would that be annoying if like they're tagging along and but if they're
Because
not
it's a lot
causing?
of work, dude. It's a lot of work to book a place or to like to do research, right? Don't you feel that
Okay.
way? If you want to say, "Hey, I want to have some good meals here," it's a lot of work and a lot of effort to try and plan a trip. And some people just don't participate at all. They're like, "Oh, I'll do whatever you want," but they're not taking any of that extra workload. And you're now planning a trip for two people, making sure you have or X amount of people, making sure there's enough space. It can be a little annoying.
Or are you saying this is like some implicit explicit thing where you would want them to do some of that initiative without asking them to?
No, I'll tell people straight up. It's like
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
gonna plan the whole fucking trip for all of us. Yeah, you better do that. I feel like I
Okay.
try and be pretty upfront about that. I'm not a person in general, or I'm trying to work on this maybe about being passive and implicit. I think I've learned,
Mm.
especially with all the autistic friends we have, is you gotta be explicit, dude. You gotta tell them exactly what you want. You can never expect someone can read your mind. So you have to be vocal about this type of stuff.
Is that
Absolutely.
because they'll come around and say, "Wait, why are we doing this? Like, I thought we were doing something else."
Let,
Like,
let, let
what's?
me let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. When we were back in Japan last time, one person, I remember when we were paying for things, right? We kind of took turns. It's like, oh, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for this. One of the person that we had in the group, like he never really took initiative to pay for stuff. And the reason why, after just asking them, is they thought, oh, I thought everyone's tracking all of this. We'll put all the money that we spend into a huge number and we'll all split that evenly. Whereas other people in the group were like, oh, I'll pay for this meal, I'll pay for this meal. And there was a real disconnect there because people just didn't
Mm,
communicate. So people didn't understand. It's like, oh, he's so fucking cheap, he's not paying for anything. It's like, well, homie, he thought at the end we were keeping track of all of it and we would split it.
mm.
Like that's a very fair thought pattern. But he that wasn't expressed to anybody, so everyone else thought he was a fucking cheap ass. Things like that. It's like you have to be explicit because like I said, some of our buddies are fucking autistic. So you really gotta you really gotta be explicit about what's going on. Especially when you have different people and as the groups get bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I will say like part of like my involvement in that whole like the paying thing is I think looking back I should be more upfront about those kinds of things because that's not a
Yeah,
shared that's not really a shared thing. And even if it is, it doesn't hurt at all to
it
just
never
be
hurts to
okay.
be, yeah, upfront and
Yeah.
explicit. Just because I think a lot of people's emotions, you can get, angry towards some people or feel like you're being like some people aren't pitching in as much. But if you're never explicit about stuff, I think it's not very fair to get mad about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have
But though
a
we're going off on a tangent though. Do you want
yeah.
to keep talking about planning trips and stuff? Because we are planning one now. We can get into this more. How are we doing on time?
No, I mean we're doing fine. We can do
Okay.
some other things, but let me talk about this other thing
Of
because
course, of
it
course.
fucking spiraled because I was down a rabbit hole. So
Do it, do
speaking of autism related things,
it.
I don't think you saw the tweet, right? But did you see the tweet that I linked in the thing? Where I mean, I'll read it to you just
You want,
because.
how about maybe we can put it up on the screen too. But yeah, read it out
Yeah,
for
so
us.
basically it was from this dude Jesse Richway, McJugger Nuggets. That was like a few days
That's
ago.
a funny name.
Yeah, and like I don't know who this guy is. It just appears in my Twitter feed, right? And sometimes when a tweet has a million views, I'm like, oh, okay, I wonder what the discussion is. And basically he had this like whole written paragraph about how, oh, this week my wife and I made the very difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy due to trisomy 21, which is essentially Down syndrome. So this
Oh, you're
dude
missing a chromosome. Okay.
yeah, so this dude's the woman, his wife is pregnant. The doctors detect that the kid is very likely going to have Down syndrome, and then they make the decision to have an abortion, right? So it's a very common thing. Like abortions are common. There are people that don't like abortions, and let's say keep the baby and stuff. But for me, like I was reading the comments and oh my god, like just like everything at the top was just hate comments and just calling this dude a pathetic loser murderer for having an abortion, right? So I was like, wait, is there more to this than just a pro-choice, pro-life kind of discussion? And I guess like at the end of the day, it basically boiled down to that. It was just pro-life versus pro-choice perspectives clashing at each other. But I had never seen this kind of thing unfold in real time. Like it was like a live fire happening. Like I maybe I
Hmm.
would read about discussions in the past about pro-life, pro-choice perspectives and people's thoughts, but those are like civil threads that you run into, right? I don't look up drama about this. I just look up people's like reasonable debates, whatever.
Sure. And again, I think it's important to like the way Twitter works too, right? And all these platforms is controversy and hate spreads the fastest, right? It's all about getting clicks and attention.
Yeah.
And so, but when you have opposing views like that, like when the first thing to a comment or the first comments for a tweet are like, "You're a fucking killer, we hate you," that creates controversy, right? And it just gets views. And so Twitter will then promote that to keep this feedback cycle going. Because,
Yeah.
controversy is what the social media is in terms of selling things. So people look at it and they can sell ads and make money. So that's I just want to clear that up with the first thing. But so I think there are two things I'm curious then. So you have a pro-choice versus pro-life argument there. Then you also have, even if you are pro-choice, like it's okay to get an abortion, like having an abortion because you find out the kids, like the child would have Down syndrome. That's another discussion. So what you're saying though is it boiled down. It actually wasn't about the Down syndrome. Like that part had nothing to do with it really. Instead, it just became a pro-choice versus pro-life debate. Is that what you saw?
Well, the Down syndrome did have a lot to do with it because that was the reasoning for going with this abortion, right? Like
Yeah,
like
but I
that.
guess in
Oh, wait, what's your question?
well, so I think there are two parts of it. You have pro-life and pro-choice in general. Like, is it okay to have an abortion? And I'm curious if that's what the comments were, or instead if the comments were like, the reason you got the abortion is wrong. Like, so it's like, is it abortions are wrong
Oh, I
always?
see. I see.
Or were they attacking him because, oh, because you got an abortion because you found out they had Down syndrome, because of that you're terrible?
Yeah, that's
Or was it just,
interesting.
oh, yeah,
That's
do you understand
interesting.
the distinction?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's blurred. Like the responses like blur the
Mm,
line there because they
mm,
specifically use like examples of kids that they know or that they have with Down syndrome and
yeah.
how like for example the first tweet that I see here is like, oh, to anyone reading this who might be facing similar crossroads, meet my son Josh. Josh is 3 and has Down syndrome, etc., etc. But Josh is thriving, like Josh is doing well. Don't use this tweet as like this message is sharing like a harmful thing to people.
Oh,
You know.
I have strong opinions on this than myself, actually. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they use examples of existing children with Down syndrome that are thriving, and as like a counterexample to like, oh, just because your kid has Down syndrome doesn't mean that they're gonna be, like hard to take care of. Which, I mean, of course, it's gonna be hard to take care of the kid. These are all
They
like pickled.
100%
These
are.
are just like pickled examples, like maybe like 1 out of 1,000 examples kind of thing. So
Mhm.
it does, while on one hand it does use the whole like Down syndrome like specific example. Like some other people don't address it at all. They just say, oh, you're a murderer and you should turn to Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ forgives murderers. You
Mhm.
need to repent for this. This is a living life kind of thing. So you see, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah. What do you want to discuss about it? What were some takeaways or anything that you have questions about still?
So I find it, I just find it interesting because I think the majority of what I took away from this is that Twitter is mainly pro life. Because if all of the comments that are being surfaced to the top are ones that are berating this dude, then it tells me that the audience, at least for this tweet, was primarily pro life folks. So that was interesting to see because, I also see like some with mainly like more left leaning sides about pro choice and stuff. But so I was expecting to see that, but I didn't really see it as much. But I'd say like it's maybe like 40-60 split, like 40 pro choice, 60 pro life arguments kind of thing. I thought that was interesting to see. Um,
Why?
the bro, this also came at a weird time because like a few days before, I was looking into antinatalism. You know,
I don't even know
antinatalism.
what that is. I have no idea what that is.
So
No.
natalism is like celebrating procreation. And so
Mm.
antinatalism is being against procreating, like not having
Ah.
humans have kids. So I was looking into the
Mm.
reasoning of people that are like super anti children, things like that. We've
Mhm.
talked about this a little bit in the past on this podcast. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it came out a similar thing where like antinatalists, like a majority of the reasoning that they have is they do not want to bring kids into the world because life is inherently suffering. And because you are bringing a kid into suffering, that is bad. Kids also don't have a choice to consent, quote unquote, of living a life. So you're like forcing them to bring their life into the world, which disrespects consent.
Mm.
And the just the whole part of this relating to natalism is that okay, sometimes people are procreate because they're like, oh, I want kids, but then if the kid is detected to have some kind of condition or syndrome, then suddenly, or maybe not even suddenly, then they're just like, oh, I just don't want this kid now, because I know that the kid is going to be more suffering because they have Down syndrome, because life is going to be much, much harder because they have Down syndrome, which it is. I don't think you can argue no that it's not. Even if you have kids that are thriving with Down syndrome, like kids with Down syndrome, if they're thriving in life or whatever, like I don't think it's reasonable to argue at all because like
Yeah.
99% of the time you're going to have way more trouble and stuff.
Yeah, I would actually say Down syndrome people are happier than you or I will ever be. Down syndrome people are the fucking happiest fuckers out there, dude. They're not worried about wars. I feel like people who don't like, people don't have, people who think Down syndrome people are like sad and stuff, they don't have family members because like my aunt is, or I guess, yeah, it's technically my aunt, but my grandparents adopted like a baby with Down syndrome back in the day. And so like she's the happiest fucker in the whole family, dude. You give her some like a little glass of wine, dude. She's hanging out. She always has a fat smile. Like she's very happy. And I'm just saying like the actual child themselves.
Yeah.
Like they'll be chilling. It's more about what the family like. It's so much more work as a family. It's so much more demanding than having a non-Down syndrome child. So I think that's really important, and especially if you're aware that oh, this is something that's outside of our ability to take care of, or it's just not something that we can commit to. I think it makes a lot of sense to not have a Down syndrome child. It's amazing that you can even have the option now. Um, I think it's better for everybody in that case. Um, so those are my thoughts around it.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into like how people with Down syndrome feel. Like because you mentioned they're like the happiest people on the planet, right?
Dude, they're the
So I
happiest
didn't really
fuckers.
like think about that.
You can come hang out with my aunt, dude. Next family gathering we have, I'll invite you. You can talk
Yeah.
to her about it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's interesting because yeah, if they're super happy, but I guess because they have more needs that need to be met, right? They need like a,
Absolutely. Yeah,
a
I mean, so the
caretaker.
state, yeah, so she lives in like an assist, like I'm gonna say I'll be specific then about my aunt. She lives like in an assisted facility with a bunch of other Down syndrome people that the Washington state government actually sponsors and takes care of them. So they have a like basically a worker who's there 24/7, or they cycle them. But she takes a little bus. They all work at Safeway. Safeway, they go there 3 hours a week, or 3 hours a day, I'm sorry, for the week. And they like get shopping carts and they're greeters and stuff, which is nice. So they have jobs and they just hang out with each other, dude, in this like house. And then we see her for family events a lot, and my grandparents would go check on her and stuff like that. My mom would too. But that's pretty much like their life, and she's chilling. She's happy.
But
Um,
like you say, it's like sort of like the people around that need to be there in order
Yeah,
to
yes, 100%. I mean, the state, like
facilitate.
you live in Washington State, you're paying taxes, like you're the one that's actually helping take care of her, right? And these companies too, like Safeway, for example, they take care of her transportation to and from the like work, and they don't need Down syndrome workers, right? They get some benefits from the state, like some tax benefits for taking care of them. So like you have to the state, like there's a lot of community taking care of them. Absolutely.
It's a strange like line to think about as to like what people decide is like the threshold for when they would want an abortion, for example. Because like yeah, maybe it's like some kind of Down syndrome or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah, other
But
diseases too.
yeah, it's there's like no clear threshold, and I guess of course it's up to the person to decide, the mother to decide whatever kind of thing. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to kind of talk back on this natalism concept because I've never heard of this before. But so being anti-natalism is this idea that you don't want to have kids, and you said life is suffering.
Yeah,
Like is
yeah.
that I think that's like a philosophical view because I would I don't think everyone thinks life is suffering.
Yeah,
Like
so
what?
in order
Yeah,
to
life
accept,
is suffering itself is a statement. Like
yeah,
like that itself is a huge statement to make. So
which
what?
it is, but
Yeah.
like I think fundamentally on even a personal level, I can understand that. Like
Oh
when
yeah,
people
some
say
people
like
have
life
rough
is
life,
suffering, I'm just like,
sure.
oh, I don't think about it, but like, oh yeah, sure, I'm not going to disagree with someone when they say life is suffering,
I
especially
mean,
when
they can think it's suffering.
yeah, even if like let's say like the majority of the world, right? If you had to say the majority of the world, would you say that life is suffering for them?
No, not at all.
Okay. Because I can be 50-50. Like I could argue for both sides. But
Yeah,
so
what do you think personally?
oh, life is good, life is bad. Like there are ups and downs in life, but live
Is it
life.
suffering? Like, would you make a blanket statement to say life is always suffering?
Sure, sure, why not? Why
Really?
not?
I don't know if I would make that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think for me
because
individually.
there are all these kinds of like problems that you'll have in your life, like your relationships things, you feeling sad about certain things, you having like mental anguish over maybe goals that you are trying to accomplish but don't accomplish, that you're having difficulty in, right? Like
Yeah, well,
just
like you said, like you have these negatives and then you also have positives, right?
yeah, like everyone, you know are you working to live or are you living to work? And I think most people are living to uh
Working to
yeah,
live.
working to live. And it's like you don't really want to work all the time, right? But you have to because it ensures like your survival and such.
But yeah, see, I think that's a very like American. Like, I think you really got to go into other cultures, right? Of like, because you go over to Europe where everyone has fucking 30 months paid vacation time. Everyone has their vacationing they do, and the work culture is way more chill. They have
Sure.
very strong labor laws. Like, they're not going to say that at all. They're going to have very different thoughts than Americans will. And it's also if you meet American people too. Like, it depends on which income bracket. I'm sure. I think there's just so much there. But I think that kind of gives me more insight of the people who this anti-child movement. They probably are in that group who really genuinely believe that life is only suffering.
Yeah.
Like that, like they probably have never had lots of good things happen to them or happy moments.
No,
Like I'm just trying to understand where they're coming
yeah, it's
from.
not even
Yeah.
that. It's not even the lack of happy moments. It's more so that just like any kind of bad, like any kind of discomfort, any kind of suffering is like inherently just bad and should not exist. So, something that like some kind of like the most like rational thought that I saw was that there's actually this like some philosopher dude, whatever, that has a the rationality behind antinatalism is that you have good and bad, right? So let's say you have pleasure in life and you have suffering in life. So
Hmm.
pleasure is good, suffering is bad. If there is no pleasure, that's not that bad, right? Just okay, whatever. But if there's no suffering, that's really good. So he's like valuing that like on a principle level, a lack of suffering is way better than a lack of pleasure. Because like if there's no
Mm.
suffering at all, that's just perfect. Like
You're chilling.
perfect, neutral state at the very best.
If you have a lack of suffering, though, it's like, do you even have it? Do you know what happiness even means? Like, if you don't have any of the
Yeah,
bads, will you ever know what a good even is?
yeah,
But
yeah,
this is
like
philosophy. Now we're
yeah, it's
getting
just
deep
like
into the philosophy. Yeah,
philosophical, but if you like just
yeah,
go with that
yeah.
premise
Sure,
of
sure.
like,
I
oh,
can
okay,
understand the argument.
like would you
Hmm.
rather the world have no suffering or no suffering at all or some kind of pleasure? And their
Hmm.
argument is it probably would be better if there was no suffering whatsoever. And whether or not you have pleasure is 50-50, whatever.
Mm.
So that's why it's like, okay, so therefore you want to minimize suffering. And because they find that, oh, life is suffering, you'll have problems in life, you'll be hungry all the time, you'll cry when family members pass away, just like stuff like that, then they just minimize that entire thing by not having kids, by not procreating.
This is like I remember when I was in fucking health class in high school. Do you ever have a health class
Yeah, yeah,
at
in
all?
seventh grade.
Do you remember? Do you remember? We were learning about birth control. And the teacher, there's always this thing. They're like, "What's the only 100% way
Yeah,
to ensure that you do not have kids?"
I
And
know.
everyone's like, "Condoms?" It's like birth control pills, and she's like, "No, abstinence."
Abstinence.
And it's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, what the fuck? That's how you know, like, Christianity and religions infiltrated the fucking Seattle public schools. That was so fucking stupid.
Oh, that's so
And they
funny,
have
bro.
abstinence as a form of birth control.
Yeah, yeah, just don't do
It's
it, bro.
so stupid. But that's what, sorry, this made me think of this a little bit. It's like, how do you not have suffering? Oh, you just eliminate
Yeah,
the
just
human
don't
race.
live at
Like,
all.
what the fuck are they talking? I don't know. It just made me think about that a little bit of the fucking abstinence argument as being a good form of birth control. Like, and it's funny because they're saying that as like when I went to high school, like you have girls who are pregnant at the age of 15 walking down the halls, and it's like we really should have given them like talked about real versions of birth control, and probably even earlier than freshman year. Maybe in like seventh grade it would be better, or sixth grade. Like you gotta start younger and be honest about it. Because when you're saying, "Oh, abstinence is the only way," like you're just fucking corrupting these
Yeah,
kids. Like, yeah, just be
yeah,
honest and tell them the truth, dude. I thought that was really funny.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, I was just like very curious about these people's thoughts,
yeah, I
and
think it's always
I've
important.
learned a
Yeah.
bit or two, but I think inherently, like, if like someone truly believes that life is all suffering, it's just damn, that's sad, dog.
Yeah, I don't
That's
want to
just
fucking
sad,
talk to that
dog.
person at a
That's
party.
just sad, dog.
Like, you ever have like friends or like people around you? I can think of a few that I have. They're just always negative. Like, they're just never like they're never talking about positive things in life. I don't know if you've ever been
Yeah,
around
it's
people like
just
that,
not
but
pleasant to be around.
yeah, it's like, why do you want, and like they affect your mood, they affect you. When somebody is always so negative, and I'm not talking about like, everyone goes through down times and you want to help friends out and be there. I'm not talking about somebody who just, goes through a bad experience or is depressed for a few months because something happened. I'm talking about, years and years and years of life and all they've really done whenever you hang out. It's
Yeah,
usually
it's
negative.
just like real life grammar Nazis. Just like anything,
Yeah,
like, oh
kind
my
of.
god, why
Absolutely.
would you
Yeah.
eat all that food? It's so much sugar. Why would you use pay money to
Yeah.
whatever
And they're just
fuel?
bitching about things like, and it's just, and then you do the opposite where you hang out, and we have mutual friends like this who are just very positive. They're really fun to be around, very optimistic people, and they're talking about good times and they're fun and they're joyful and you laugh around them. It's just such a different experience of life. And so I feel like when I think about these fucking life is suffering people, it's like I don't know if I want to. If I was at a party, I don't really want to talk to these fuckers. Like I
Yeah,
don't want
they
to. If I was in a conversation, like I don't know if you do this, but my girlfriend and I we have like a save me type of messaging when you're at like a party, where it's like if I see my, like my girlfriend make this movement, I'm like oh I gotta go talk to her and save her from this conversation. That's when if I'm talking to somebody like bringing kids in the world is terrible. Like life is just suffering. I've only had badness in me. I'd be fucking giving that signal like, "Come save me, Zoe, come save me." I don't know. That's just kind of it's just a depressing. It's
it,
just kind of
it
sad.
makes me depressed when I
I
like
I understand. I can get in the headspace. I
exactly.
understand it to some level, but it's just sad. How do you think reading about this, like, how do you think it's affected your thoughts
No,
individually?
not
Like, has
me,
it
not
affected
me.
your opinions?
No, because at the very end of the day, like I know that having kids is selfish. Like I completely accept that. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like I just don't
I don't know
care.
if it is selfish. I still don't agree with that at all. I don't think having kids is selfish.
Okay, well,
I think that's
whatever.
yeah, yeah. But even regardless of that, like
Yeah,
even if
regardless,
we
like
do believe that,
humans, like
sure.
as a human, I'm gonna do things that benefit me.
Hmm.
And like even one of the question is like, why do you want to have kids? Which I think is a good thing to ask. I think it's a good thing to ask why people want to have kids.
Yeah,
Like,
and to think about that a little
yeah,
bit more
just
than just
just just think
it's
about
a
it.
biological need.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
just like don't
Get out
go
of your
do it
monkey brain.
just because like someone told you to do it. Just like if
Yeah,
it's
I
because you want to
agree.
do it, great. That's all I needed to hear, man. But just don't
Yeah,
delude
yeah,
yourself into thinking whatever.
yeah.
So for me,
Don't do it just because of the environment, like people are telling you to, right?
yeah,
Really want it.
yeah.
I think that's a
Yeah,
very
for
good
me, like I
thought.
want kids because I want kids. I want to know what it's. I want to like take care of a kid and be a parent and stuff. Boom.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also show them a fucking happy time. I can guarantee you, Helen, your child they'll know more than just suffering.
Yeah, I mean they'll go through hard times.
Everybody
Yeah,
will.
they'll
I
go through hard
guarantee you
times,
that,
and
dude. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
at some point I'll be like, "Fuck, dude, I'm so sorry for Maybe I'll have like feelings of, damn, it's probably because of me, whatever, right?" But I'm just gonna do my
Yeah, or
thing.
they go through a breakup or something, their
Yeah,
first person they like when they're 10 years old and
yeah,
the world is over to them and then yeah, they gotta get over that, but
yeah. So
it'll be
like,
fun.
dude, I'm selfish. I'm gonna do my thing, but I do like I did like under trying to understand the perspectives of uh, like antinatalism more, because some of it I think I can agree with for sure, like especially with more people that are being child free and like people that I know that are child free. There's no shame in that. Like
No, I do agree. I do. Like yeah, I agree with that.
like,
I think it's actually great. I think it's if they know what they want, and I think it's better. It's better if they don't have a kid. If they
it's
know for a
great.
fact they don't want one, they shouldn't have one.
Yeah,
100%.
it's
It's much
great.
better than lying. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, yeah, exactly. So
You
eh,
save so much money.
yeah, but yeah, if I knew that the kid would have Down syndrome, I'm like,
Oh,
well,
I'd abort that shit. I've already talked about this. I think it's really important to actually have this discussion with your partner if you're trying to have
yeah, yeah,
kids. Like,
I would have it
you
with
really
her
should discuss
beforehand.
that for sure.
Yeah, have all the
Because dude,
expectations
that
set.
would be a fucking awkward move, dude. Imagine like you get pregnant, you find out like this kid has Down syndrome, and like Alan, like we're like I feel this way too. It's like, yeah, we got to abort this kid,
Yeah, the
and
only
and your partner,
surprise, like in the
yeah.
pregnancy phase that I want is like, oh, your kid might have this. That's the only surprise that I like would expect. Cause
Wait, what do you mean?
like it would be a surprise if like the doctor tells you, oh hey, there's a X% chance that your kid might have blah blah blah, or you're. So I'd be like, oh, I'm
Oh,
surprised.
oh,
I'm
that's interesting.
surprised, but we know what the answer is. We know what the decision is. There's no surprise about
Abortion.
what the decision is.
Wait. What at what point do you go for it? Like, if the doctor tells you, hey, there's a 30% chance your kid might have Down syndrome.
See, that's the other crazy thing, man, because I'm just like,
Well,
fuck,
yeah,
dude.
that's a
Yeah,
hard
I'm like,
because
see, that's what I mean with the threshold from earlier. Like, what do you decide is the threshold? I searched up the statistics. If, like, it generally it's more aligned with the woman's age. So if you're age 30 or younger, you have a one in I think 1,000 chance, or like a couple thousand chance in like a kid with Down syndrome. If you're 35, it shoots up to like one in 300, and then at 45 plus, it's one in
wow,
90.
45. Yeah,
Yeah.
45 is fucking old,
Yeah,
dude.
but it's like even then,
Yeah,
like a woman that's 35 has one in
but
300 chance. That I'm like, geez, that's kind of like
but,
high.
but doesn't the doctor they know like when they tell you your kid like the Down syndrome I know when they're testing for chromosomes that's not like it's not like, oh, you have a 30% chance of having Down syndrome for this child. It's like this child will have it, right?
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
know that when the doctor tells you. I assume that's how it works. I'm asking you though. It's like, what if that wasn't true? What if when the doctor goes to you, it's like there's actually only a 30% chance that we know. I don't know what I would do. I'm trying to think about this. Like, what to what level, what
Exactly.
threshold
Well, what's the
do you
threshold?
fucking?
And I
I don't
30% would
know.
scare me. 30% scares me.
30% would scare you? Yeah, dude.
30%
I
scares
don't.
me.
Yeah.
But then there are
Let me.
things like, oh, now you have to try
Yeah.
again if you want another baby. Maybe that'll
I
take a
would do
while.
under. I think under 10, I would feel pretty confident. Maybe even under 20. But yeah, 30 is a little scary.
And I also think like at the end of the day, the kid could have Down syndrome even if the doctor doesn't detect it, and
That's true.
I'm gonna live with that. Like I hope
Yeah,
that
that's
I
why you put them
fucking
up
live with that.
for. Well, you just donate them to the church.
Oh shit.
Like my aunt, dude. My aunt got left behind. That's why my grandparents like
For
adopted
their
her. Somebody just
religion.
left her the church,
That's the
dog.
answer.
Yeah, yeah, and then you know.
But yeah, man, that
You
shit
leave them in the
that
church
tweet
with
was
some
kind
gummy
of
bears.
wild, bro. That tweet was kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's important though. But again, I think with modern medicine, you if there's really like a life thing like that, like you'll have a very high chance of knowing
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
that
I
will
don't want
occur.
my kid to have like some kind of disability. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like it depends on how far of a disability, but yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean
But like for
generally
me,
speaking, you know.
we got that I got some autism, ADHD, dyslexia. What's the other one? It's the dyslexia with numbers, but a lot of my family has that type of shit. So we'll probably have some neurodivergent children out here, but that's okay. They'll survive. Modern medicine, pretty good.
Modern
Like
medicine.
teaching. Yeah, like dyslexia, for example, right? Like my grandpa, he's dyslexic, and because of that, he was put in like special ed, right? But nowadays with kids with dyslexia, they have a lot better. Like they're a lot better at recognizing that. Because back in the day when my grandpa was in school, they thought he was just fucking retarded. Like literally, that's what you were called
Yeah.
retarded.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
thought he was retarded, and he just couldn't really. And even now he has a hard time reading, but he just has a really hard time reading. He's a smart dude,
Yeah.
like IQ wise. I mean, he was an engineer for 30 years, but he just really cannot read very well
Yeah.
because he didn't learn the right way because he's dyslexic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, you have like everyone has like different spectrums and probably has some
Yeah,
difficulty with learning or whatever. It's just that we've decided that, like at this threshold, it's Down
yeah.
syndrome,
Well,
right?
Down
Yeah,
syndrome's a
yeah,
real fucking.
yeah.
That's a real thing.
Like, bro,
That's
if you
one of the
can't
things.
like, if you need like an extra year in school, like, okay, like, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
that's nothing. But if you need to like have somebody with you 24/7 to live life, to take care of you and to change your diaper, it's a little different.
that's big commitment.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah. How many we get on time, Ellen?
yeah, I mean, let's call it here.
Where we at? Yeah, because I didn't
We're at
time it today
42. We're
actually.
at 42.
We're at 42. Oh, we went
We don't
long,
really have
dude.
much
My bad,
downtime, man.
homie. My bad. No
Not much
downtime, no Down
down.
syndrome. Yep. We didn't like hit a lot of these talking points, but that was fun.
Yeah, maybe next episode or something. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man, just yeah, yeah, that's
Watch out for that Downs, dude.
yeah.
That's water and
I'm
thank
a
you for joining us
pro-choice
for
man.
Water and Time. Yeah, episode 26.
Thank you for
You
choosing to
know,
be here.
yeah, and watch out for that dance. I don't
What are
know.
you saying, man?
I don't know. All right, We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.